All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the January 4th, 2022 iteration of the Kubernetes SIG Windows community meeting. As always, these meetings are recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so be sure to adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. Let's start off with some announcements. First of all, Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope everybody was able to, that wanted to, was able to take a little bit of time off and around the New Year's and, recharge a little bit, relax. And I think look forward to some great things happening in 2022. First announcement is the dev mailing list has changed. So it used to be kubernetes-dev@googlegroups.com. I think just this week they archived that, so you can no longer send messages to that. And the new alias is dev@kubernetes.io. This is another Google Groups, but it's managed by G Suite, so they have a lot more control over things. And there's a link to manage if you choose to not get emails, but like to look or search through the history, there's a link to the Google Groups to manage that. Right now, they are asking people to not join the new group. They're auto-migrating everybody and want to wait for that to be completed before they join the new group. But if you have any docs or mail filters, docs that you're sharing with, add the new alias. Mail filters, add the new alias to that to get that all set up. The other groups, including like the SIG specific mailing lists, will be getting migrated in a couple of weeks. I think they want to see how this works and how all of their migration tools and everything work before they go ahead and migrate some more groups. So that will be happening in the next couple of weeks. But for now, it's just the dev alias. If you have any questions, there's an email that either went out or will be going out soon with how to contact people if there's any questions. But it's most of the same channels, just Slack and Contribx are probably the best points of contact for if you have issues like not able to join or not getting messages. Next set is there's a tentative proposal for the 124 release. I scanned it yesterday. I forgot most of the details, but the important thing is that right now the proposed enhancement freeze is January 27th. That is a Thursday, and it's in a couple of weeks. So that is probably the most important deadline for 124 right now, since we are tracking the number of enhancements that we'd like to progress in 124. The next announcement is the Kubernetes Container Runtime version 2010.9 has been released. This has a couple of fixes for containers not starting or not cleaning up after they're stopped. And I think it has fixes for the CVEs that we've discussed here before. For people new here, MCR, the Kubernetes Container Runtime is the rebranding of Docker EE. So if you're still using Docker EE on some older, 124 isn't released. If you're still using Docker EE, be sure to update to Docker or to the Kubernetes Container Runtime 2010.9 at your earliest convenience. Yes, it looks like it fixes the two CVEs that we had mentioned here. That is all that I had remembered to add for the announcements. If anybody has any announcements, feel free to raise your hand or just talk here. If not, we'll continue the meeting. Okay, let's go on. Since we are kind of entering the enhancements portion of the milestone, I wanted to spend a little bit of time here to discuss what enhancements SIG Windows is planning on working on in 124. These are the enhancements that we're currently tracking. If there's any other enhancements that people would like to propose and work on, please let me know. And since enhancements are now opt-in by each SIG, so the SIGs need to mention to the enhancements team which enhancements that they're planning on tracking. So we can go over a quick status, and I just want to make sure that we have, we know what we're planning on working on. So the OS pod spec field is, Ravi's on the call. Ravi, are we planning on taking this to beta in 124? I believe so.
Yeah, so in 124, we're planning to make it beta. I have already, yesterday I opened a work in progress enhancement, cap. I will also continue making some changes on the code side, but I'll let you guys know once it is ready for review, but it's on track.
What are the changes planned for going to beta?
None. Technically, it's just updating the feature gate to make it beta at this point of time. In 125, we are going to make some changes to the kubelet. This is for the N-2 support that we have been talking about earlier.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, next is the node service log viewer, Arvind, and question on comments. I believe that we're on track for this. I've seen a big implementation PRs coming out.
Yeah, so I spent, can you folks hear me?
You're very quiet.
Right. How about now?
Much better.
Okay, so yeah, I spent part of the break kind of looking at it. Of course, I got distracted a lot by the SIG Windows dev tools because I was using that environment to sort of test this feature. I have parts of it working now. You can go to a particular node and you can start looking at the log files. What I'm now working on is to get the services, viewing of services working for both Linux and Windows. I also am having trouble getting the selector type options to work. The main issue here is OC is very different. The OC, the OpenShift command line tool, is very different from kubelet and how that works. So trying to get the code that's there in OC into kubelet is the struggle that I think Christian and I are facing. But again, like I've mentioned this before, if someone else has time to help out with this, we are glad to take them on board. But I'm going to try and work on this as much as I can.
Okay, I'm adding a note. So especially around, you said the kubectl changes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can see how that is. Is this this might be a good thing to demo in one of the next coming community meetings as well.
Sure. Yeah, I can demo whatever I have working.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. So I'll leave it as we're on track for alpha for 124 for now, and just proceed with that as the plan. Next is the operational readiness spec. I think,
yeah, so the operational readiness is reviewed. We got this in the end of the year, and I think we are waiting for the PRR that S2K to give the final approval.
Yeah, and I believe that I think we reached out to David Eads to do the PRR review. I will try and reach out to him again. It's better to get their, especially the PRR approvers who look at many different KEPs for many different areas of the project. It's best to get their approval or get them to review early as possible.
Okay. Should we choose another one that's related with SIG Windows, or
I think David is probably the most familiar with SIG Windows. He's been the PRR reviewer for the host process containers, the node service log viewer, and other KEPs, but we can ask to. It doesn't hurt to, I think there's a Slack channel. We could post on that later today too, and just see if anybody wants to pick it up. I'm not a huge fan of how they ask you to select a reviewer and put it in the YAML. I think they want to make sure that there's a reviewer assigned in the YAML in the enhancements repository. but I think it does tend to have people pick like either the same person over and over to do that PR review or the first person, which is I think is David. So
Yeah,
can-
that's a little odd.
yeah, so we can play around with that and try and get attention and just change it if somebody has bandwidth to review it or is interested in reviewing it.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, that's just, I think that one's pretty much ready to go. I know a number of people in here have all reviewed it and it is just waiting for that. The last cap is the host process containers. This went beta in 123, I believe. Well, I think the plan right now is to keep it in beta for 124. There are a couple of issues, like not issues, but usability things that we're hoping to improve and have the changes be available in another beta release. Brendan, do you want to comment anything on this?
Nothing major right now, but yeah, there will be a couple features that we're hoping to get into the next beta, and hopefully GA in 125.
Well, 125 would be the next beta, but so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we keep that. That's all that I'm tracking. Is anybody proposing any new enhancements? Or have any ideas for any new enhancements? If not, we can continue. Okay, I don't have anything else on the agenda for today. Does anybody want to propose any agenda items, or should we give everybody a little bit of time back or go into the pairing session? I'm open for any of those options. Okay, then I think we'll stop this meeting. I'm going to stop the recording and then we can sort out the pairing session if folks want to stay on for that. Thank you everybody for attending, and I hope everybody has a great year, and we'll just kind of hopefully people are getting back into the swing of things. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
I'm going to leave for SIG Node at 10. They're talking about the SIG Node enhancements, and I want to stay for that, or I want to be there for that. Does anybody?
Do we want to stop the recording?
Oh yeah, I stopped the sharing. Oops.